Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. And by the video title, you know what this video is about. The Miami Heat versus the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Championship for the third time. Third time in 4 years. Both of these teams are very good teams. They both are very physical. They both play very hard and tough. And they have some strong mental toughness. Mental toughness is the main thing you need in the playoffs. Of course, sometimes you can have the skills and all that stuff, but in the playoffs, sometimes you gotta lock in and you gotta kind of like silence the outside noise and just go out there and just compete and play. And to watch those guys go out there, compete and play and stuff like that, it's always very cool to see like that. I'm a big fan. I love sports. I love especially physical sports. I love seeing competition and stuff like that. And I just love watching the players go out there, put their heart in line. The NBA, the NFL. Wrestling is a fine line between sports and entertainment like that. But I love watching wrestling. WNBA, I watched that too. My team, the Phoenix Mercury. We didn't look too good at last preseason game, but we'll be bouncing back. But I love watching just like the wheel of the athlete, like that, who's gonna pull through. I want to become an athlete too, as you guys know. But just the will of the athlete to pull through and just see how they like just dig down deep and just overcome all the adversity. It's very inspiring and stuff like that as well. But both of these teams are gonna be in a slugfest battle, and I believe it's going to 7, in my opinion. Both of these teams are very good teams. We can just break it down from like team to team standpoint. Break it down from like, from coaching staff to player depth and to star players and stuff like that. But before we get into that stuff, I like to say that the Miami Heat have been playing amazing football. I say football, amazing basketball. You see, now I'm merging my other universes together. I'm making a football video before this video right here. I'm making a lot of videos in one day. But the Miami Heat have been playing amazing basketball. In the regular season, as you guys know, we've been up and down. Regular season, the Heat was just playing weirdly. They had some moments they look like the first seed Heat, then some moments they look like the Heat from they had a little bit of rest from a couple years ago. But in the playoffs, they have locked in. They have played very tough. They have played very hard and gave every team a run for their money and took their money really against the Bucks. I know Giannis was out the second game. If he played the first game, the first half, got out the second game, and then the third game he was out, and he came back for the last 2 games, and the Heat pulled it off with 2 great comebacks and stuff. Jimmy Butler with 56 points one game, 42 points the other game. Bam Adebayo with a triple-double the last game as well. And then the Knicks series was Bam series like that. Of course, Jimmy Butler still did his thing here and there with the scoring and stuff, but it was Bam series. Bam was very efficient and playing amazing defense on Julius Randle. Julius Randle had a good game that second game, but when Bam Adebayo locked in, remember he said, hey, it's my fault. Even though it wasn't his fault fully, but he said it's my fault. He locked in and he just turned it on and started playing amazing basketball. And Kyle Lowry been absolutely insane off the bench. It actually was the best move to put him off the bench because the injuries was getting to him at first. And, we really didn't see that extra, burst from him like that. Especially last year, he was out of shape. He had the injuries and stuff like that. But this year, coming off the bench, ever since the playoffs, he's been playing amazing basketball. He has the fourth most points off the bench. So it's going to be very good to see him. Caleb Martin been playing and been very consistent throughout these series. You actually look at his stuff, he actually been very underrated and very consistent and quietly consistent because he's been putting up double-digit numbers. You look at the stats, you be like, okay, he had 10, he had 12, he had 20 in one game, he had 12 again, he had 12 again. He's just so consistent. He plays good defense as well, and his shots when necessary. And he's a guy that likes you because he just don't settle for the shots. Gabe Vincent had his moments too, but sometimes I feel like he settled for too many shots and forced too many shots. Caleb Martin is a guy who's going to maybe fake the shot and get to the rim like that. He's not afraid to get physical and get to the rim and drive and stuff. So it's going to be a very good series to see. But and Kevin Love been a very good addition as well too, hitting shots, getting rebounds for us like that, playing interior defense the best he can and stuff. It's been very cool to see Cody Zeller coming in. He might not be the best offensively, but defensively out there having size and stuff and making shots tough and stuff, I think he do a solid job. But the Celtics, on the other hand, Marcus Smart is one of those, it's like those sneaky, those just gritty, tough players. He fit the Miami Heat culture perfectly. Marcus Smart, he can go out there, he can guard. He don't care who the person is, actually. We see him guarding Embiid last series. And making plays and just being on anybody like that. He don't care who's out there. He's going to go out there and give it his all and stuff like that. He's one of those guys who's going to play his heart out. And he's been playing pretty good, too. And actually, he has the 4th most clutch points like that in the playoffs so far, tied with Stephen Curry. And he's been playing pretty good this year in the playoffs like that, being very consistent. Of course, man, I get all the credit because Jason Tatum was scoring the 50s and Jaylen Brown was scoring the 30s and 40s and stuff like that. But Marcus Smart is a very big piece for that team. Robert Williams is too. Robert Williams is like a freaking Goliath in the paint. He's gonna send that stuff to the bleachers. amazing player. I remember last year he gave us a lot of headaches. Our Williams was very good defensively. But it's going to be a very tough matchup and stuff like that. It's going to be very good for both teams. Both teams have different advantages. Some teams got some advantages and disadvantages. So both of these teams are going to match up very well and be very good. And I wanted the Celtics too. I wanted our Heat to play the Celtics because, last year it didn't go our way. And then, the last time before that, we played the Celtics in 2020. We beat them in 6 and stuff like that. But now it's the trilogy. It's the trilogy to end this rivalry that's been going on since 2010. And we know it's going to continue to go on for history and history because both of these franchises are just very good. Of course, the Celtics being the most rich and probably most popular franchise, them and the Lakers. But, through the 2000s and up, the Miami Heat has been very good franchise as well, getting to the finals with 6 times. I believe it's 6 or 7 times, and getting to 3 NBA championship victories and stuff like that. So it's going to be very cool to see how things play out. And we're going by personnel and style and stuff like that. You look at the coaching. Of course, Coach Spo get that nod because it's Coach Spo. The 4th most wins as a head coach in the playoffs. Top 15 coach of all time, voted on the list, and the anniversary team list. One of the best coaches to do it like that. The ultimate strategist. I always call him GOAT Spo. Go out there and make some amazing adjustments. And he doesn't care who's out there. He's going to put you in the best situation every time to succeed. And then we have Nazula. He's doing a pretty good job too. But I feel like Udoka was a better coach than Nazula. But I feel like Nazula is doing a pretty good job, especially in the 76ers series. We finally seen him adjust like that, make the changes. He put Rob Williams in the starting lineup, make the adjustments, and then say, hey, see how this work out. And you see how they won those games back to back and kind of get themselves back into forcing the game 7. And then they won the game 7 like that. That was very cool to see him adjust and be on the fly like that and just learn to adapt and stop attacking the Boston media. He keep going after the Boston media like that and in the media battle, just block out the outside noise and just lock in and just go crazy. And we've seen him do that on the past 2 games like that for the Celtics, and it worked out well. And then of course we look at the depth. The Celtics get that nod because they have a lot of depth. They have Malcolm Brogdon and the Tatums, the Jaylen Browns, the Robert Williams, the Al Horfords, Pritchard, and all type of guys like that over there. They got a lot of depth on that team. A lot of guys, Marcus Smart, a lot of guys who on that team can make some big time plays for them when their number is called too. So, I almost forgot about Derek White. Derek White too, another one. So he got a lot of depth on that team too. And he was playing very good in the first round. Second round, he was playing pretty solid too. But he's a sleeper guy too. Because last year, remember, he had some games where he was going crazy. I was like, what the heck is going on? He lighting us up like that. So you can't be. So you gotta watch out for him. So it's gonna be a lot of that too. So we gotta make sure we focus on all that. And then we look at kind of the players, the best player on the court. Initially you probably say Jason Tatum, but we're looking at it from a standpoint of of course overall, regular season included, of course Jason Tatum, he's more talented, better player than Jimmy overall. But in the playoffs, I think Jimmy Butler's a better player because Jimmy Butler, we've seen the numbers and we've seen him be the driving force for his team, the most valuable piece for his team as well, like that. So I kind of put it as a tie between Jason Tatum and Jimmy Butler. But then after that, of course, it's Jaylen Brown is the next best player on the court. I think Bam's after him, kind of slightly under him like that. Both of those players are two-way guys like that, and they play very good defense, and they can get their own bucket too. I think Jaylen Brown's a slightly better player than Bam, but I think Bam, of course, is still a very good player as well. But that's really kind of the match is going to be. The match is really going to be who can outwill the other. I think it's going to 7, and of course I'm biased because I'm a Heat fan, of course. So I'm taking the Heat in 7, but I feel like every game is going to be a slugfest. It's going to be close. It's going to be a gruesome battle, and these teams are going to, they might not make it to the finals after this series because they're going to be going at it like that. But this right here going to be a very good series, and whichever team win this series, I feel like they're going to win the finals. I feel like they're going to win the finals, whichever team win the series. I feel like these are the 2 most mentally tough teams. Of course, I'm a big fan. LeBron, my second favorite player ever. Dwayne Wade, my favorite player. LeBron James, my second favorite player ever. But I feel like whoever win this series out of the Heat and the Celtics are going to win the finals. Both of these teams are the most mentally tough teams that's left, and the teams that are going to play physical. And I feel like they're going to go out there and get it done like that. But we're going to see how things shape out. The Lakers and the Nuggets going to be a great series too. I believe that they're going to 7 most likely too. Some Lakers fans thinking it's going to 5. I'm like, no. Jokic is unstoppable. Anthony Davis is a great defender, but he can't stop Jokic. LeBron can't stop Jokic. LeBron doesn't really play defense like he used to play in the old days, but Jokic is going to give them headaches. You got to figure that out. But you can't really stop a guy like that. Like most of the guys around the league who are those high-level guys, you can't stop Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, you see what he been doing the Knicks game too, like that, like the All-Star players, and then of course LeBron James and AD and Jamal Murray and Jokic, the All-Stars of the team, those type of guys on the team like that who are your franchise guys, they gonna get their points. It really don't come down to what the bench can do, what the bench can go out there and do, and what the bench can like play, like the level of play. Cause we've seen the Miami Heat with Jimmy Butler scoring his points. We've seen Bam Adebayo scoring his thing, but the bench went out there and outscored the Knicks in every single game like that. Jalen Brunson dropping 40, and Julius Randle played terrible, and Archie Barrett played terrible for the last game, not the best example. But the game before that, how they was all dropping 20 plus, and the Heat bench still outscored them, and the Heat only lost by a little bit. Then the game before that, the Heat bench outscored them, even though all of them had 20 plus a piece. But yeah, you need your bench to go out there and get some points. We've seen what happened to the Suns. The Suns didn't have that bench depth and that bench scoring. And you can't do everything as a starter like that. You get gassed out eventually. So we're gonna see what happens in this series. It's gonna be decided by the bench. It's gonna be the big time series. So we're gonna see who walks away with the win in the trilogy. Both teams are 1-1 like that so far. These the next generation of both of these teams in this rivalry, and we'll see how it shapes out. But that's all I got for this video today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace out.